Okay.
Just take it, make a nice video, you don't have to hold it.
During our trip to Nepal, we made a short stop in Pokhara, a city known for its mountain views, laid-back vibe, and adventure activities. We hiked into the hills, explored the lakeside, tried the local cuisine, and ended with our first ever paragliding experience. This is how we spent 3.5 days in Pokhara. We started our journey to Pokhara like most travelers, in Kathmandu. You see, even though Pokhara is Nepal's second largest city with a population of just over 500,000, your two options of getting there are either an 8-hour bus ride or a 25-minute flight. The bus ride is significantly cheaper at around $24 round trip versus a whopping $200 round trip plane ticket. But at the end of the day, what's your time worth? Ain't nobody got time for that bus ride. Plus, you get to fly in an AR-72, our first time in a plane that's pretty rare in the US. But that novelty faded real quick. Legroom was tight, recline was minimal, and oh, the AC didn't work for the entire flight. I finally used the safety card for the first time in my life, and hopefully the last. But hey, the flight was still worth it for the time savings and the cloudy yet dramatic views. We followed the ridgeline, and after only about 15 minutes, we were already starting our descent. If you look in the distance, you can see the culprit behind the hazy weather. Apparently farmers were burning fires all over the valley, and the smog just sat there. Unfortunately, the weather would be like this our entire trip, when Pokhara is actually advertised as this. This apparently happens from March to May, so maybe try visiting any other time of the year. We didn't let this ruin our trip though, it is what it is. You can easily grab a taxi outside baggage claim, which we did, and it's about a 20-minute drive to the Lakeside area. We stayed at a place called Hotel Middle Path because, like its name suggests, it was centrally located. Namaste. The property had a lovely, relaxing courtyard full of greenery. A pool, a gym, and included breakfast for only $57 a night. And to top it all off, if you take the elevator to the top floor, you can enjoy some food and drinks with a great view of the lake. Just imagine what this could look like on a clear day. Our room was clean, cozy, and kept cool with good AC. We had a wet bathroom, which we didn't mind. It was minimal, but served its purpose. We even had our own little balcony to get some unfresh air. The next morning started our first full day in Pokhara. All we had planned was to explore the town and lakeside. A pretty chill day to get our bearings and rest up for a long hike the following day. The main street with all the restaurants and shops was only a 5-minute walk from our hotel, and the lakeside promenade was only another 10 minutes. We headed straight to the promenade and just strolled along enjoying the views. This path goes on for just over a mile, with Phewa Lake on one side and lines of restaurants and bars on the other. We eventually settled on a place called Silk Road for its Nepali menu, which included craft beers. We ordered 2 different Barahsinghe beers due to their cool branding and assortment of beer styles, some of which are quite rare in Nepal. The caps also have these cool pull tabs which I haven't seen before. The hazy IPA had a medium haziness with notes of berries, citrus, and tropical fruit. A very solid IPA overall. The Belgian wit beer had a smooth, slightly creamy mouthfeel with notes of orange and coriander, kind of like a blue moon. These beers were solid A-tier representations of their respective styles, and probably my favorite in Nepal, so bravo to Yak Brewing for their great execution. For food we got vegetable momos, Nepal's national dumpling, and a tomato chili sauce. This had a soft, pillowy texture, and the taste was average. Not bad, but nothing amazing. After lunch, we headed back south to the main town, where we stopped to try some local whiskey. All 3 of these brands are made in Nepal, so we picked one each just to taste them. I'm not a whiskey expert, but these were pretty good, especially the Old Durbar Two Continents, which combines Scotch malt with Himalayan water for a unique blend of flavor. After drinks, we continued to the southern tip of the lake, where there are several parks that offer a more relaxing atmosphere than where we had lunch. These parks had lovely trails, pretty little things to stop and appreciate, and probably the nicest spot to just hang out and relax. But this place also has some sweet flag views, so it's time for some flag facts. Did you know that Nepal has the world's only non-quadrilateral national flag? The 2 stacked triangles represent the Himalayas, but they also stand for the country's 2 major religions, Hinduism and Buddhism. The crimson red is Nepal's national color, and the blue symbolizes peace. In the middle, you'll find the sun and the moon, meant to show that Nepal will last as long as both of these celestial bodies remain. Honestly, this is an S-tier flag. I don't know any other country that has built symbolism directly into the shape of their flag, and that makes Nepal's one of the best. We planned a bit more adventure for day 2, a hike up to Sarangkot, one of Pokhara's most popular viewpoints. Heading north out of town, we followed the main road for 30 minutes and turned uphill to start the real portion of this hike. We walked right past the Annapurna Cable Car entrance, which could take us straight up to the top for $8 one way or $12 round trip, but we wanted to get some exercise, see a bit of the countryside, and take in the slower side of Pokhara, despite the smog and no guarantee of great views. We will take the cable car on the way back down though, for the experience and to save some time. This hike is called the Sarangkot Tower Trail, which we found on All Trails. It climbs about 2,800 feet over 3.4 miles from the center of Pokhara to the top of Sarangkot. It wasn't exactly a single trail, more like a patchwork of roads, footpaths, and stairs winding through small villages. If you plan to hike it yourself, there are trail signs, but they can be easy to miss, so keeping the map open helps. It also helps that you cross under the cable car several times, making it easy to stay on track. Hello. 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 After about 3 hours, we reached the top. The last stretch is a long staircase lined with shops and snack stands, leading up to a shrine and a few viewpoints. Even without clear views of what this could have looked like, the climb was worth it. The atmosphere up here was calm and felt like a reward after a demanding uphill walk. So we made it to the top, took about 3 hours, and that's our view. But it was good exercise and it was pretty on the way up. Would recommend just have a beer at the top. And we did just that. At the Hilltop Restaurant and Guest House, we ordered a Tuborg and a local Gorkha beer. The Gorkha reminded me of a typical, easy-drinking lager with a slightly maltier finish. A fine, average beer, in my opinion. For food, we tried the fried version of Nepal's national dumpling, buffalo momos. These were delicious, perfectly crispy on the outside, juicy on the inside, and the homemade chili sauce added the perfect spicy kick. We also ordered the potato rosti topped with cheese, kind of like a golden crispy potato pancake with a soft center. This was simple, hearty, and exactly what we needed after the climb. From the top, we walked about 10 minutes down to the cable car station. The summit station has its own viewpoint, adventure park activities, and restaurant, so you could easily get the same hilltop experience without any of the exercise. Oh, and you can get beer here too. Okay, so we're having another beer. Where are we now, Pookie?
We're about 10 meters from where we last had a beer.
Oh, you mean right up there?
A beer, yeah.
You mean this thing right here?
Yeah. I think we're just really excited that we found, what's it called? Cable car. So it calls for celebration.
So the cable car just stopped. So let's just enjoy the view.
A few minutes later.
Hey, we're moving. Oh boy. We're gonna be saved. We made our way back into town along the lake, chauffeured by this local dog, and earned ourselves another beer, this time Yeti Lager from good old Yak Brewing. This was perfectly crisp, light, and bready, and my preferred choice over the Gorkha. We decided to let someone else handle the hard work for the rest of the day, so we hired a paddler and took a boat out on Phewa Lake for an hour-long cruise. The air was still hazy, but it gave the lake this calm, almost otherworldly feel. Quiet, still, and really peaceful. We just sat back, drifted across the water, and enjoyed the moment. The next morning was the big one. A van picked us up from our hotel and drove us up the mountainside towards our first ever paragliding experience. We booked with advanced paragliding for about $80 each, but don't let that low price fool you. These guys were total pros. Fully certified, super organized, and we never once felt unsafe. The launch point was back in the Sarangkot area, where we have been the day before.
Wow, so many people. Hi, friend. Where are you come from?
After a short safety briefing and getting strapped in, we were all set to go.
Okay.
I've never been great with heights, so standing there waiting for the right wind window was tense. But it was now or never, and when the moment came, we were off. The feeling of gliding was incredible, cruising just 100 feet over the ridgeline, then thousands of feet above the plains below. A standard flight lasts about 30 minutes, but I upgraded to the cross-country option, which uses rising warm air currents known as thermals to stay up longer. But that serene feeling quickly faded when I got asked, "Do you want to do acrobatics?" And after much hesitation, I mustered up the courage to say yes.
Now we go for the acrobatic, okay?
Oh boy.
Be gentle, man.
Okay.
You don't need, relax.
Okay.
Just take it, make a nice video. You don't have to hold it. Okay, we go for the acrobatic now, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, just be free. Yeah, it's fun, as I told you, man.
That's insane.
You can come more.
How was it?
Oh, I feel queasy.
You feel queasy? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm very ill, but I had fun. It was beautiful.
Despite Jess feeling queasy and me screaming like a little baby, we both had a lot of fun. This was truly an amazing experience, and we'll definitely try this again the next chance we get. After all that excitement, we were ready for something a little more grounded, so we stopped by Sherpa Kitchen to try some traditional Sherpa food. Jess ordered the vegetable and chicken clear soup, a classic mountain dish meant to warm you up in the cold. She also got fried cheese balls, which of course are a very traditional part of Sherpa cuisine. I went for the chicken kaja set, a common type of Nepali meal that comes as a full spread of different small dishes meant to be mixed and matched. So what we got here is a chicken kaja set, and what we got is bean rice, chicken gravy, some momos, potatoes, peanuts, and some salad.
Actually, I'm getting used to the rice now.
And yeah, it's supposed to be texture.
Yeah.
The sauce is dang. The sauce is like smoky and peppery. I think it's one of the best mellow sauces I've had. Everything was great on its own, but the best bites came from combining them, especially the chicken, bean rice, peppers, and onions together. I was also happy to see some familiar favorites on the plate, like piro aloo, these spicy pickled potatoes, and a few momos for a change of flavor. This kaja set definitely beat the one we had back in Kathmandu on our street food tour. Link is in the description if you want to check that out, but overall the food was pretty tasty and worth checking out. We ended the day with a short boat ride to Barahi Temple, a small Hindu temple dedicated to the goddess Barahi that sits on the island in Phewa Lake just a couple hundred feet off the shore. It only takes about 3 minutes to get there, and the ride costs less than $1 per person. This was not quite as peaceful as our private boat trip from the day before, but it is still worth it just to see the temple up close. And that wraps up our 3.5 days in Pokhara. We're really glad we took the time to come out here from Kathmandu. Between the views, the food, and a little bit of adventure, Pokhara had just the right balance of everything. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.